Alright, hey there Prox Gaming Crew, and this is Proxify here, and we're back for some more of the Paper Mario and the 1000-Year Door Let's Play. And if you did miss out during the last one, well, we just went and headed on into the beginning parts of Peach and Bowser's storyline here. Now we're gonna go and continue back onwards with Mario's side of things here on the Nintendo Switch, because we need to go and do some side detouring before we go and reach off into Chapter 2. Now, since we already went and opened up with our way of the 1000-Year Door, it already explained to us that Bogley Woods is our next direction. But if you guys do recall, we do have Zesty that's over here blocking the left-hand side of Rougeport for right now, and since we do have the contact lens that has finally showed up here to the item shop, well, now, I think at this point in time, that Zesty will now be able to go and help ourselves out on building up some extra more other little special goodies with our items that we do have. And now, I want to say that later on, we'll be able to get like some much better items that will be showing up within Zesty that you can go and customize and make. Now, also here, we do have this guy. This guy in particular does actually sell on items and badges that you can't ever go and find. Now, for example, he does have this Hammerman badge for 240 of the coins right there. And I want to say that it does have its good side, but it also does have a downside with it. It's like you do get an extra increase of your attack, but the downside is that during the time that you use the hammer, you will lose the benefit of having the jumping as well. So you kind of want to think a little bit strategically when you kind of see those badges there. I believe there's also another badge known as the Jumpman badge, which we won't be seeing until like, unless if he goes to decide to switch around with it, because I believe he always switches his items, I think each and every day that you always go and come back to your Switch, or even GameCube for that matter, for this web. So here we go. We're gonna do a little bit of some food tasting over here, and we got our brand new mushroom flavor here. We got the mushroom fry, which I believe that will now be able to boost up a little bit more of our HP. Instead of it being at 5, it can now be at 6. And with the honey syrup here, all that we're gonna just go and do is get some fresh juice, which I'm pretty sure that that's what it is here, and it will give us a little bit of some more extra FP as well in the process. Now, there is also another thing known as a mistake, which if you actually decide to go and take one of your other items that are not really supposed to be for a recipe in a way, and all of a sudden you get yourself a mistake, I believe it only gives you 1 HP and 1 FP, so it's not really as great of a thing that you could go and get from Zesty. But anyways, here it is, the left side of Rougeport. This is the new type of item shop. This is where you can now go and finally buy out on the super mushes here. And not only that, but you can also buy some Volts runes, which that's also pretty helpful as well. Now, I know that there is going to be some enemies later, I think in Bogley Woods, that you may possibly want to go and use the Volts rune on, because there is these things known as Huff Puffs, I think. Yeah, I think they're known as Huff Puffs. They're basically like these little mini clouds. You guys may probably recall from them back in Paper Mario 64. These guys always like to fly, and they always like to cause a lot of problems. And I think having that Volts room would be somewhat pretty handy in a way if you do see a whole swarm of them literally just starting to show up out of nowhere. Because you actually do keep yourself at least like somewhat static for like a little bit of like different turns, so it's not too bad. So, yeah, so I guess I believe we just went and checked a little bit out with the game corner. Unfortunately, we can't really do anything within the game corner. I don't want to say, like, until, like, somewhere around Chapter 6. Because, like, that's when we'll get, like, a new, like, trouble center situation. And then we'll probably go and worry about that. Because there's not really too many trouble center things that I do want to go out of my way for. But doing the game corner, and also as well, too, I want to say doing the Miss Mouse thing will also be something important that we do want to go and take care of. So here is the special item shop. This is something that you can do while you have went and got the Slim of Mario that you can go and fall down into here. And there's some pretty interesting stuff. You actually do have like 200 for getting a whole bunch of your FP back. Same with the 200 of the 1-up mush. Now, you don't want to go like too overly crazy with some of these spending here, because again, there is going to be some times where we will be seeing some of these items literally start making their appearance later on throughout like other different chapters. So you may possibly don't really want to go like too spendy down in here all the way. So for right now, we're going to go and do a little bit of some storing of this point, which I will go and show you guys how the store system works. So basically, just like how Paper Mario 64 works, you do have a store and also a type of withdrawing system that happens from some of these different item sellers that will be here. And it's pretty nice. So if you ever do want to go and just do like a whole bunch of stocking up of like other different items that you do need, and you just want to like try to like go with like switch around with some other stuff, then that is perfect right there. Now here are some new enemies that we have never got to go and see just yet, so we are going to introduce to these guys here. I believe they're known as Spinias. I believe so. I don't think we ever really went and seen these guys before yet, but these guys will start making their appearance now here inside the Rougeport sewers. Now, we will be meeting up with a new type of character pretty soon. I believe his name is going to be known as Punio. We've already kind of seen exactly what type of creature that they look like here, because we have to go and talk to some sort of Puni that will be able to go and open up with the Boggly Woods tree that we do have to reach on into it. That's our next main up-and-coming dungeon that we're going to have to do some stuff with here. So basically, these guys are like the same things as like this, like the other type of spinning enemies, like the green guys. But this time around is that jumping can't really go and work around with these guys. So if you do decide to go and do any jumping, you will get yourself injured. And however, we did go and pull off with a safeguard, so that's not too bad. But again, these guys are really annoying when it comes to safeguarding, because you can't always really go out of your way to predict exactly how they're going to be able to hit you right away. Yeah, that's kind of like some of the other enemies that we'll be seeing later. They'll get a little bit more harder to go and just do some safeguarding with. Like, Goombas are not too bad, Koopas are not too bad, Fuzzies are kind of iffy here or there. It just depends on how exactly you're going to be able to do the safeguarding properly. But yeah, if you guys got like some very fast enemies that does happen, then safeguarding is not going to be the best type of option all that much. But here we are back over in the main sewer that we do need. This is the exact part that we have to go and head off into it, because what we're going to be seeing is that we're going to be seeing a somewhat of a sort of Puni is making its way here. So that will be Punio. So let's just go and keep on following Punio right on over to that said door that's going to be here. Hopefully we'll be able to get ourselves with a brand new hammer pretty soon, because I think we'll get ourselves with a stone hammer or something later, and that will be able to help out with the way of us going and busting down some of those annoying pesky type of big huge blocks there, because that will be like somewhat of a nice help to do some more exploration within the actual Rougeport sewers for the time being. I'm pretty sure it's the stone hammer, right? I don't think it's like the ultra hammer. I think the ultra hammer is like more so of like breaking other type of like other type of rocks that are like blocks or something that are going to be there. Alright, so let's just go and keep on talking on over here to this guy. He literally thinks that we're basically X-Nauts at this point in time, but we're not X-Nauts. We could be X-Nauts in disguise, you never know. That would be interesting. Well, Mario has been to the dark side before, you know? Like, I'm trying to remember. Like, because I'm pretty sure that here at Paper Mario 1000-Year Door, like, Dupless kind of takes over, like Mario, so he does kind of become, like, somewhat of a villain in this game. Now, I know that later on, since like, that also happened there within this time of Paper Mario 1000-Year Door, Super Paper Mario, the game that happened afterwards on the Wii, that was originally supposed to be for the GameCube, Mr. L was basically kind of like the shadow side of Luigi, because of Dimentio and whatnot, and transforming him into somewhat of a more bad guy. Or was it Kelpla? I think it was Dimentio, I believe. But I have to say, that battle, like the final part of that in Super Paper Mario, that was a little bit tricky with that Dimentio battle. But either way, we were able to clear that series out. But that would be a fun game to come back to one of those days. Because I still haven't really got the specialized, like, note or whatever, the specialized, like, type of pixie in that area. But that's where you have to, like, do the 100-bit trial or something like that there. But here we go, got ourselves with Chapter 2, the Great Boggly Tree, which that's exactly where we're going to be heading off to. But, however, we do got some other things to go and worry about, because we do have the Shadow Science that we have to go and do a battle at some point. And not only that, but we also have to go and pick up with the brand new character here for this said chapter, so that we can at least have her into our way of having the Boggly Tree to go and open up with pretty soon. And that's going to be with Flurry. which Flurry is going to be a very great character to go and have, and it's going to be a character that you're going to probably, I want to say, possibly overusing most of the time here in this game, because there is going to be certain situations where you're going to have like a whole heck of a lot of enemies that are just going to just start like just showing up like out of nowhere. And the great thing about what Flurry is that she does have like this really good special upgrade move, which I'm pretty certain I don't think she could get it learn wise at the very beginning when you go and unlock her, but I believe she does have like a super gust attack where she could just basically blow away all the type of enemies that go and get scattered away, and you actually do get, I believe, star points from that. So technically you kind of like knock them out in a way, but I believe you still get star points just from that as well. Now, there's going to be some enemies that are going to be like, such as like Patrol Koopas, that won't really get overly affected within the way of that, or even other enemies that are more heavy style. It's just that enemies that are going to be like somewhat in a more lighter type of way, they'll be able to get blown away. Sometimes like the heavy enemies take a little while until they go and actually blow off the screen, but you can't really do it right off your first time. But we got ourselves with Beldum over here, and Vivian, and Merlee, I believe. Yeah. So we got like all three of these characters here, but we will be doing a battle with them soon. Now, this battle can get a little bit annoying, but I'm pretty sure that we're okay for right now with the HP that we do have. But I think for right now, since we are getting ourselves closer to the end of this episode, is that thank you guys so much for watching Paper Mario at the Thousand Year Door. See you guys for Twilight Princess, because we are going to be moving off into that one as well. And of course, peace.